Hi friends, welcome back to the Saffron Box. I'm Yamini Sharma, and today in this video I'll be talking about the month of January 2023, the very first month of this new year of 2023, and how does it look like? How are the planetary transits happening, and how does it impact all of us? How does it look like for all the 12 signs? Right, so for this, do keep your Lagna or your ascendant in mind because you'll be able to resonate or identify with your Lagna better. For some, the moon sign will work. So one of the two will work better depending on how it is. It depends on individual to individual. But I always say that when you see things from your Lagna, from your ascending sign, a lot of resonance comes through because Lagna is your physical body, Lagna is you yourself. So whatever you do, whatever action you take, is seen from the ascendant, right? So I'll talk about the planetary transits first, and then thereafter I'll go with the sign-wise analysis for all the signs from Aries to Pisces. As usual, you'll find the timestamps in the video itself, which will help you, move on to whichever sign you want to listen to first, right? So this month, if you see the planetary transits are interesting. I'll begin with Sun. Sun is currently in the sign of Sagittarius, and on the 14th of January, Sun moves into the next sign of Capricorn. And this marks the beginning of Uttarayan, right? So, whenever Sun enters the sign of Makar Rashi or Capricorn sign, the period of Uttarayan begins. And this will last for a period of 6 months till Sun is in the sign of Cancer, right? So this 6 months is considered auspicious, is considered good for a lot of things. Sun gets a lot of strength also during this period of 6 months when Sun is in the Uttarayan period. So Sun is pretty strong here. So for all those people who are going to be born, all those children who are going to be born in the first 6 months, that is till the time Sun is in the sign of Cancer, the first 6 months of this year, Sun will get some additional strength, right? So individual charts do play up, but Sun is going to get some more strength here. Then we have Mercury. Mercury is currently retrograde, and it will be like that for quite some time, for most of the time this month. Then we have Venus. Venus is currently in the sign of Capricorn, and it is going to be there. It is going to form a conjunction with Saturn first, thereafter with Sun for a short while, and then it again moves on to the sign of Aquarius and conjuncts with Saturn again. So Saturn and Venus have a close conjunction to follow throughout this time phase, throughout this month rather. Then Mars is currently retrograde. Mars becomes direct. So that is again a welcome change for many of us. Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces, its own sign, continues its journey there. Saturn is changing signs, is moving from the sign of Capricorn, its own sign, to the next sign which it owns, that is Aquarius. So on the 17th of January, this transit of Saturn occurs, for which I've already made a video, and I'll be leaving a link in the description box also. Right, so that is again a very important transit. Whenever Saturn changes signs, it shows us important things. Saturn is the slowest moving graha out of all the navagrahas, and whenever there is a movement of Saturn, it puts in a lot of impact, long lasting, deep impact on all of us, right? So I have explained that in detail in my video. Then we have Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is in the sign of Aries, and Ketu is in the sign of Libra. So now I begin with the sign-wise readings for all the signs. I'll go sign-wise. I'll start with Aries, go till Pisces. Now for Aries, you have Rahu currently transiting through your ascendant, and your Lagnesh is retrograde in your second house. It will become direct by the middle of the month. So the first half, whatever challenges you are facing, the second half looks better with the Lagnesh becoming direct, right? This brings in a lot of welcome changes in terms of your health issues, in terms of a lot of matters which were not moving on, which were not, uh, you know, progressing the way they should have been till now. So this will see some traction there. Mars getting direct in the Dhanabhav, in the house of wealth, also brings in a lot of welcome changes with regard to your finances or your money matters, etc. Then we have Saturn. The most important part of this month is the movement of Saturn. So Saturn is currently in the 10th house and it moves on to the 11th. For you, Saturn is the planet ruling your karma sthan, ruler of karma by default also. So in Aries horoscope is the natural horoscope. So by default, the ruler of karma, the ruler of efforts, moves into the house of Labh or the house of gains, which is the 11th house. So for you, in case you were working hard, in case you were putting in a lot of effort and you feel that things are due for you in the times to come, this is the year, or rather this is the month when things start changing for you gradually. Now, since we are talking about a very slow moving planet like Saturn, uh, the changes will not be seen immediately. It will take time. But yes, by the second half of the month, as Saturn moves into the 11th house, a lot of changes in terms of gain of employment, a new opportunity coming to you in your workplace, some more changes, positive changes at workplace is something which I definitely see for you, right? So those of you who had trouble getting employment till now, you were looking at employment avenues, new job hunting, all that was going on. Some positive changes are definitely seen. Also, the most important part, again, as I mentioned, is the sign is your 10th house, sign of Capricorn, which is seeing a lot of important changes. So Sun is also moving on to your 10th house. Sun is again going to help you with your job hunting, with your job opportunities, some raise at workplace. So overall, professionally or work wise, your business wise, the times to come seem to be much better than before, right? Venus also forms a close conjunction with Saturn, and it moves on also again with Saturn to the 11th house. So this Saturn Venus effect also brings in a lot of changes for people, or rather gain for people who are in the field of business, media, traveling. Those of you who are doing a family business, they will also be seeing some positive changes. For some of you who are looking at getting married, I think this is a time where you'll be able to take things up, take things ahead in terms of your marriage, or a marriage proposal may come. So these kind of positive changes is what I see. This is overall a good month for the Aries ascendant, and especially the second half of the month is much better with a lot of changes, favorable changes coming in, right? So a positive month overall, and I wish the best for you as well. Then moving on to the next sign of Taurus. So for Taurus, you see, we have Mars currently occupying your first house, occupying the Lagna. Mars is retrograde also. Mars is also your 12th and your 7th lord. So not a very auspicious planet for you. Occupying the Lagna brings in a lot of impulsiveness, a lot of short tempers, flare up sometimes, and all those things happening. So that is again something which I've always been cautioning you against. Mars has been here for a long time, and Mars retrograde over here in the Lagna itself would have been causing trouble or causing issues because of temper or because of impulsiveness most of the times. So now with Mars becoming direct and slowly moving ahead, it's kind of going ahead now and leaving that heat behind. I think this is a time to kind of take things under control, uh, take care of your relationships. Mars here directly aspects the seventh house also. So you and your spouse, your relationship has to be checked, has to be seen. Make sure that your temperamental issues do not come in between you. So tread carefully in your marriage. Otherwise also your relationships have to be dealt with a lot of care, with a lot of caution, right? So that is something which I definitely see for you. We also have Saturn, which is your yoga karak. Saturn is your ninth house currently, and with its transit into the sign of Aquarius, it comes into the Kendra house, which is the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn's movement is obviously pretty good for you. Your Lagnesh is also conjunct with Saturn in the ninth house currently, and then thereafter in the 10th house also for some time. So this is again a very auspicious thing. It gets a lot of support. Lagnesh gets a lot of support with the yoga karak Saturn. So if you had any long-term travel plans, if you had plans to travel out for studies, educational purpose, or any long trips to be made, I think this will enable you to go ahead with that as well. So a lot of support from your elders, support from your superiors, your father, all these things are also seen here. So keep your mind open, be ready, or be open to take guidance from people. So in lot of your cases, with lot of Taurus people, you'll find somebody elder, somebody very matured, Saturn like, helping you out with your decisions, helping you out with the way you are going about your life. So keep your eyes and ears open to good counsel, wise counsel, and you stand to benefit also, right? Overall, do take care that your decisions are not rash. You are thinking over. As I said, you have to take good advice and then go ahead with any future plans. Uh, do not be rash in your decisions. Be a little patient so that you're able to reap the benefits which are coming your way. And there are a lot of positive changes in for you as well. Jupiter is in its own house, that is the 11th house, which is good for your gains. And then Saturn is also coming to the Kendra. Saturn is forming a yoga also, Shashi Yoga also. So here, a lot of changes, positive changes, professional changes are going to happen. Some of you, it is going to be an elevation, so you could be getting a little, a lead role, a leadership role, a step up in your work. So that is again something which I definitely see, right? Take care of your expenditures should be really thought through. You could be making a lot of extravagant expenditure this month, so take care of that, especially in the first half. And people who are in the hospitality, or in the garment business, or you are dealing with jewelry, or dealing with women items, could also see a lot of growth during this time, or you could be looking at expanding your work also, right? So overall, a good time for the Taurus ascendant. Just keep your impulsiveness under check, and things should be okay for you. Then I move on to the next sign of Gemini. So for Gemini, you have your ascendant Lord Mercury currently retrograde, conjunct with Sun in the seventh house, and Mercury is also aspecting the Lagna along with Sun. This happens, Sun and Mercury together are going to be there aspecting your Lagna till the 14th of January, and then Sun moves on to the eighth house. Eighth house is where the action is happening. Sign of Capricorn is where a lot of, you know, there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of movement there. Deep impact is what we can see in the eighth house. So Sun is entering the eighth house. Um, Saturn, which is already there, is going to be leaving the eighth house. So, eighth house matters become very prominent this very month. We also have Venus spending about 3 weeks there in the eighth house in the sign of Capricorn. So, here I would say that a lot of those who are in the fields of research, higher studies, uh, could stand to benefit, right? So a lot of your attention will go towards these matters if you're following some deep research, or your profession is something related to medical surgeries, occult, oil and gas, mining. You will see a lot of changes coming to you this very month, right? So Sun is also entering the eighth house, which could also bring in some health related issues, right? So for the for the Gemini ascendant, here there could be some health issues. If you have been going through any chronic ailment, you need to take better care of yourself also, right? So your journal vitality could see a little dip. So take care of that as well. Saturn coming into the ninth house, that is the sign of Aquarius, also gives you a lot of boost, gives a lot of boost to the Lagna. Mercury, the ascendant lord, is also aspecting the Lagna. So there's a lot of boost, there's a lot of support. But health wise, I think this is a little, you know, this is a time to trade with caution, take care of yourself. Uh, Whenever you're working with items, sharp items, etc., be careful. When you're working near fire, when you're working in the kitchen, be careful, do not get hurt. Certain accidental injuries can also come in, so take care of your health, take care of your general surroundings as such. Otherwise, from an education point of view, from a learning point of view, this is an excellent month. So till now, if you had any trouble concentrating, if you had any problems carrying on with your studies, etc., things should get sorted out now, right? Those of you who are into any kind of a business, you have your own enterprise, you have your business, i think I think during this time you should be a little careful in terms of new investments, in terms of pumping in new money. So wait out for some more time, for a few more weeks before you take any important decisions regarding your business, etc., right? So overall, this is a okay month. As I said, accidental injuries can happen, new investments should be avoided, and overall, this seems to be an okay month for you as well, right? Then I move on to the next sign of Cancer. So for Cancer, you see your Yoga Karak planet, that is Mars, is retrograde in your 11th house. It is going to become direct. Then you have Sun moving in from the 6th house to the 7th house. Sun is going to be aspecting your Lagna directly, which is again a good aspect for you. Saturn, which is your 7th and 8th lord, is moving towards the 8th house, right? So your 7th house gets a lot of focus this very month, right? So Sun and Saturn, both when they touch a sign, when they touch a house, a lot of important events also get triggered. That again depends on the birth chart which you have, and a lot of focus comes into that particular sign. So this month, your focus is going to be on relationships, on your marriage, on your dealing with other people as such. So make sure that whatever you are conveying, you are able to convey properly. You know, choose the right occasion, the right words to communicate your ideas. Take care of your relationship with people. Take care of your relationship with your spouse. So here some issues can come up, sometimes some ego issues, minor matters, but ego issues come up, because of which you're not able to enjoy a normal relationship with your spouse also. So that is again something which you need to work on. For some of you, some foreign journeys may get triggered. So if you had been waiting for a long time for a journey to happen, I think this is the time when some travel plans can also come through for you, right? And by the month end, a lot of your pending things which you had been waiting for, things which were kind of stuck at some level, will start working out, will start working themselves out, as Mars also becomes direct in your 11th house, right? So relationships, as I said, have to be taken care of primarily. Any old diseases which you have, like any chronic ailment you have, that you need to guard against properly. So if something is not working for you, some treatment is not working for you, seek a change of doctor, seek a change of treatment, maybe something else might work out. Work on your health. And for those of you who have any issues related to skin, related to nerves, etc., you should be doubly careful, right? So take care of your health, and overall things should work out. Then I move on to the next sign of Leo. So for Leo, your ascendant lord itself It makes a transit every month, but this month it is going to be moving out of your fifth house and coming to your sixth house. And from here, sun also starts getting more strength as it enters the period of Uttarayan, right? As I mentioned earlier in the video. So here, sun is getting some additional strength also, though it is sitting in the sixth house. And apart from that, Saturn, which is currently in the sixth house, moves out, comes to the seventh house, and aspects the Lagna. So here there could be chances that those of you who are not yet married, who are looking for a match, or who have been facing difficulties getting married, there are chances that some marriage happens or your relationship progresses further on. I would not say that a marriage takes place as such in such a short period, but things start moving towards a positive direction, right? So changes in relationship, positive changes in relationships, etc. Also, those of you who are married could see that you and your spouse are talking about important matters, some important decisions are to be taken, and sometimes you may be at loggerheads about some important decisions, right? So you see that you're facing a lot of opposition, or your spouse is also has a different point of view altogether. So this is the time to sit down and sort out any differences, sort out any difference of opinions which you have with your spouse. So spend time with your spouse and talk over things coolly. Venus, why I'm saying this is Venus is also moving from the sixth house to the seventh house. Sixth house Venus is not a very great position to be, and Venus is also going to move along with Saturn almost into the seventh house. So your relationships, your marriage, all these things become a focus point for you, for the Leo ascendant as such, right? So that is something which you need to work on. Overall, this is a good period for those who are in the field of entertainment, in the field of education, or you are in the media, etc. I think this is overall a good period for you. Then moving on to the next sign of Virgo. So for Virgo, we have Sun moving out from the fourth house. Sun is currently conjunct with your Lagnesh Mercury. Sun will be moving out from the fourth to the fifth house of Capricorn, and from there, Saturn will be moving out to the sixth house. So the fifth house, that is the sign of Capricorn, is where a lot of movement is happening. So here, for some of you, it will bring in changes in your job, changes in your routine, changes in your job profile. It could be a transfer for few, it could be a change of role for few. So any changes related to your job, related to your area of employment, are definitely indicated, right? So Saturn is the karka of work, Saturn is the karka of your profession, and so is Sun. Sun also shows employment, Sun shows government jobs, etc. also. So both Sun and Saturn, in fact. So here a lot of changes can definitely be seen. Also, those of you who are looking at beating out competition, if you are a student, if you're looking at cracking some exam, if you have to deal with a lot of competition, I think this is a time, this is a period where you'll have to start preparing a lot, right? So be ready to face the competition. The planetary movements are such where you'll have to put in more and more hard work towards cracking any exams, cracking any competitions as such, right? So this is especially for the Virgo ascendant. Saturn is going to be in the sixth house. The more hard work you do, the better your chances are. So do not depend too much on luck right now. Look at your hard work and pure hard work during this point in time, right? Overall, things seem to be okay. Avoid any arguments or any um, you know rough words, any I would say any hot exchange of words between you and your father or your superiors as such. Any conflict should be avoided. Mars currently retrograde in the ninth house. then though it becomes direct, but Mars is not a very great planet for the Virgo ascendant. It is a first rated malefic for the Virgo ascendant. And when it comes to the ninth house, there could be a lot of heated exchange of words with your father or with your elders, with your superiors, etc. So that is something which you definitely need to avoid during this whole month, right? Move on to the next sign of Libra. So for Libra, you see a lot of action is happening in the fourth house. Sun enters your fourth house by the middle of the month. Saturn and Venus are in conjunction in the fourth house, and then they move to the fifth house. Saturn is your yoga karak planet also, and it is changing its signs from the Capricorn sign to the Aquarius sign now. A lot of your focus is going to be on the fourth house matters: real estate, property, renovation of home, maybe some enhanced income, sale and purchase of home, sale and purchase of property, vehicles. So all these issues will take up a lot of your mind space. And I would say that this is a time where you'll have to start viewing things with a very different perspective. Saturn is moving from the sign of Capricorn to the sign of Aquarius. The Lagnesh is also moving along. Lagnesh Venus is also coming to an Aries sign this month, right? So here, with this movement, you've got to be very open with the way you look at things. So shed any old patterns, be open, welcome new ideas, welcome new changes which come your way. And of course, there'll be a lot of dealing with, all these issues with fourth house matters, constructed property, land, vehicles, etc., which I said earlier. But your way of looking at things should change. You should be, till now, whatever you were holding on to, maybe now this is a time to view things differently, right? Sun's entry into the fourth house will also enable that. So new changes, some freshness comes in here. Into the way you think, with the way you feel about things around you, right? Also, with you, Mars, that is the seventh lord and the second lord, is retrograde in the eighth house. And by the second week of the month of January, Mars will also become direct. So this is a period, at least for the first 1 or 2 weeks, you need to be careful with regard to rash driving, doing anything risky. Do not get into anything risky. Do not overindulge into anything which can put you at risk. Otherwise, things seem to be okay, right? Then I move on to the next sign of Scorpio. So for Scorpio, your Lagnesh is currently retrograde in the seventh house. Lagnesh is aspecting the Lagna also. Lagnesh will become direct. Mars will become direct by the second week of January. And then we also have Sun and Mercury conjunction in the second house. Sun is going to be moving into the third house, that is Capricorn. And Capricorn is where the action is happening this very month. Sun is entering Capricorn. Saturn, Venus is there for about a period of 3 weeks. Saturn is going to be exiting Capricorn, coming out into the fourth house of Aquarius, right? So here, a lot of your efforts, efforts will be the focal point. What kind of efforts are you doing? What kind of hard work are you putting in? What responsibilities have you taken till now? Additional responsibilities can come up to you. So a lot of, and Capricorn by default is a sign of lot of responsibility, is a sign of lot of work, of karma. So here, beginning of new responsibilities, shouldering new responsibilities, all these themes can play out, right? These responsibilities could be related to your home, could be related to your siblings, etc. also. So a lot of new responsibilities and a lot of new work is what I see for the Scorpio ascendant. Also, some of you who are in the field of media, telecommunication, you are into social media, influencing, and all these things, would also see a lot of work coming your way, or a lot of changes, new changes also happening in your field. So you stand to gain from that as well, right? The way you express yourself is also again very important. So Saturn here has anyways, in the last 2 years, two plus years that it has been in the third house, has influenced, has been aspecting the fifth house also. So with Jupiter in the fifth house or already in its own sign, now here a lot of expression will come into light. Whatever you have learned, whatever you have worked on till now, how you're going to express it and how you're going to gain from it is again something which is going to come up. Also, this month will bring in some temper flare ups or some uh, minor fights, minor conflicts also with some people. You know, people whom you meet with a day to day basis, beginning with your spouse, beginning with your business partner, if you have a business partner as such. So you've got to be a little careful there, right? Take care of your interactions with people around, within your family also. So here, that is some again something which I would caution you about. Then moving to the next sign of Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, we have Sun and Mercury currently in the Lagna. Sun will be moving out into the second house on the 14th of January, and it starts with the and then the period of Uttarayan also starts. Then thereafter we have Venus currently in your second house. Saturn is there. Saturn and Venus, one by one, will move out and go to the third house. Right. So here I would say, and apart from that, Mars is currently in your sixth house. Mars is retrograde in motion and will become direct also. So here, with two malefics, Saturn in the third house, Mars in the sixth house, gives you a lot of push towards doing new things, towards growing. Your Upche Bhavas are getting malefics, are getting malefic impacts. Right? So here a lot of push to grow, a lot of restlessness to do something more, to grow more materialistically can happen. So some of you may take new initiatives, try to do something new or make new plans as such, discuss it out. So this is a period, and this happens to be the first month of the year. So look at what you want to do in the future. Look at what you want to, progress on. Where do you want to put efforts? So this planetary transit is going to help you do that as well, right? Mars becoming direct also by the second half of the month will put a lot of things in order also. So new ideas, new people you deal with, all these things can come into the picture and make you ready for something new to be done this year, right? So overall a good period. Even the ascendant lord, that is Jupiter, is sitting in its own sign, that is Pisces, in the fourth house. So overall you are at ease. Overall there is a sense of ease, but there's also a sense of intrinsic desire to grow. So that is again something which you have to work on, right? Um that is again a good period for you, for the Sagittarius ascendant. For some of you who have health issues or who are prone to health issues, you need to take care of yourself. Two planets in the Upche Bhavas, especially in the third and the sixth house, can make you prone to health issues. It could be hormonal problems, it could be problems related to your speech, acidity, digestion issues. So these issues have to be taken care of. So if you're already in a state of inferior health, take care of yourself doubly, right? Then I move on to the next sign of Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn ascendant, the first house, that is the Lagna, is where a lot of action is happening. The Lagnesh is moving from the 10th house, from the sign of Capricorn, that is the 10th sign, to the second house of Aquarius, right? Sun is coming to the first house, that is Capricorn. Sun is coming to your Lagna. Sun is also the eighth lord, right? So it is not a very auspicious planet for you. It's the Ashtamesh. And Jupiter is anyways in the third house in its own sign. So here when I see the combination overall, along with your yoga karak, that is Venus is also moving along, moving out of the first house to the second house along with Saturn. So here I would say a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances to improve yourself lot of changes regarding you yourself. So for some it could be, that you become more aware of your health issues, and you do something to change the state of your health. Sun, which is the eighth lord, is coming to the first house, so it definitely brings in some transformation, some changes. So become more conscious of your health, of your body, and you want to work towards a better state of health, mentally and physically. So that is again something which will come in, which will play out for many of the Capricorn ascendant people. Also a lot of focus towards your investments, your assets, your savings. So all these things will also happen. Saturn and Venus together, sitting in the second house, will bring in your focus towards money issues. So how are you best going to save, how you're going to invest, what are you going to do about your money issues, is again something which you need to work on this particular month. Venus is the karka of wealth, and Saturn is the ascendant lord itself. Saturn is the second house lord itself. So here, Venus conjunct with the Dhanesh can also bring in a lot of focus here. So discussions within the family regarding investment of money, if you have a joint family system, there are joint finances which are concerned, then again this plays out even more, right? So uh, work on the financial side is what I would say is definitely there on the cards. Mars is there currently retrograde in your fifth house, and Mars will become direct also in some time by the middle of the month, right? So here there would be changes, there would be the gains which you were looking at could come up in the second half of the month, right? So some traction in terms of sale and purchase of property, sale and purchase of vehicles, etc., which you were waiting for a long time, could also take place this month. Then moving on to the next sign of Aquarius. So for Aquarius, this month Saturn is entering your first house, is entering the sign of Aquarius on the 17th of January. So till now, Saturn, as of now, Saturn is in the 12th house. It's conjunct with Venus, and it is going to come to the first house. Sun, which is currently in your 11th house, will also be moving to your 12th house. That is the sign of Capricorn. So here, a lot of action is happening in the 12th house. A lot of, I would say, a lot of disturbances also here. So there could be a break in routine, there could be lack of rest, lack of sleep also, which you see immediately here, right? So Saturn definitely makes a transit into the Lagna. It is a time to charge itself. It is a time where the Lagna starts getting strengthened. A period of growth, a period of maturity comes in, because whenever the Lagnesh comes to the Lagna, and that to a planet like Saturn, it happens to come back to the Lagna or come back to any house after more than 29 years. So this is a period which triggers in a lot of maturity, life experiences, whatever has been happening to you. You tend to take away life lessons. You change a lot whenever Saturn comes into the Lagna. That is what I was trying to say. And especially when it is the sign of Aquarius itself. So you think differently, you think in a more mature manner, and from yourself, from me, you start thinking about we as people, we as a community, we as a group, right? So you start thinking, your thinking goes to a much more higher order. That is when Saturn is very well placed in your chart itself. So that is a period of growth mentally, socially. You're able to do better things also. But this particular month is going to bring in little disturbances, because the Lagnesh is moving, the 12th house is seeing a lot of movement, etc., right? Some of you who are married could also face some disturbances here. So there could be a chance that your spouse is traveling out, and there's a physical or a geographical separation between you and your spouse for some time. So, or there could be some difference of opinions, some coldness which comes into your marriage for some time. So deal with your spouse in a more matured manner, sit out, communicate better. That is again something which I would advise you for, right? Mars is retrograde in the fourth house. Mars is going to become direct in some time by the middle of the month. So Mars being here is also going to create some uh, difference of opinions or some heat, uh, heated exchange of words in the family, in the kutumba as such. So that is again something which you've got to avoid here, right? Those of you who have any real estate work, you have any property or real estate work, construction related work, could also see some more traction in this month to come. So a lot of things which were pending, which were not happening till now, start picking up speed, right? Then I move on to the last sign, that is Pisces. So for Pisces, you see, you have the ascendant lord, that is Jupiter, in the Lagna itself. It has been there, it is going to be there for some more time. Then you have Sun in the 10th house. Sun is going to be moving out into the 11th house. A good movement. The brighter half of your horoscope is getting a lot of movement, right? So from the 7th to the 12th house, are the brighter halves. If we can take the first house also, this is the brighter half. So you have Sun here, you have Mercury here in the 10th. Sun is moving to the 11th house, and the period of Uttarayan also begins on the 14th of January. The Venus and Saturn conjunction is currently happening in the 11th house, and then Saturn moves on to the 12th house also, right? So a lot of movement here, work related movement, work, professional networking, all these things take up a lot of your time. Those of you who are in government related jobs, who are government employees, could also see a lot of traction happening. Some of you may see a change of place, may see a change of role, an elevation of role, etc. also, right? So this is especially there for people who are employed, right, or employed in the government services, etc. So then a lot of movement over there, a lot of changes in your professional circle or in your friend circle as such, right? So a lot of movement happening in the sign of Capricorn here. So you could make new friends or you could let go of old ones. So a lot of changes, transformations happening in the professional circle also. So this could be because of transfers, because of change of place, change of business. All these things can also happen, right? So, and those of you who are into the field of research, who are into the field of higher studies, investigative kind of, investigative nature of work, could also see a lot of frequent travels away from home. So basically this whole month keeps you busy because of your work, because of your work ties. Your growth at work keeps you very busy this entire month as such, right? Mars also sitting in the third house pushes you to do a lot, pushes you to accept a lot of responsibilities here, right? So do not be very impulsive, do not bite more than what you can chew. This is a very busy month for you, and it will keep you on your toes as such, right? So that was all about the 12 signs, and I'll see you soon in the next video. And before I go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to my video till now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel till now, do press the subscribe button and let me know your comments in the comment section as well. So goodbye, take care.